So prior to any type of fire season, you have to make sure your chimney and your fireplace are clean. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I clean my Napoleon High Country 5000 fireplace and chimney. So what's cool about this fireplace is that there's a glass screen that comes up, and there's also a mesh screen that can go up and down as well. So the first thing I want to do, I want to open up my glass screen, and then there's two baffles that are that fire rock, and it's shaped like this and then like this. I need to pull those out and then set them off to the side. Now I assume it's going to be dirty. I haven't done this year yet, but from what I can see up top, it is fairly dirty. So I'll pull those out, put them outside real quick, and then I'll show you my technique that I'm going to use to catch all of the dust when I go use the brush outside.
Okay, I know it's kind of hard to see, but where the light's at, this is a larger baffle, and then right behind it up here is a smaller baffle. And there's these clips that they just rest on. So all you need to do is just pop them out, and then it should just come right outside and we'll be good to go, and we can see the valve up top. All right, so I got the baffles out. It's easier to take the top one out and then the bottom one out first. As you can see, it's a pretty good amount of dust and stuff up there. So I got the valve open, and the valve is opened by this lever right here. So this is open, and then to close it, you just pull this down, lock it off to the side. But let's keep it open, and then we'll get ready for our next step. So I'm going to use one of these hefty big black trash bags to hopefully catch most of the dust and soot as it comes down with the brush. So I'm just going to stick it inside the fireplace like this, and then those clippies where those baffles hung on, I'm just going to pierce it through those so it can hold the bag up in place. And then once that's done, I'll just close this glass front. That way the dust, as I'm working the brush down, shouldn't come into the house. I might get a little bit of dust, which is normal, but hopefully it's not like a lot of dust. So let me put this in here, and hopefully this works. I haven't tried it before, but let's see how she works. Okay, I got the bag in place. I'm going to close this up. And now we'll go outside and we'll run the brush down. I did want to point out one thing. So the fireplace is actually right about here. It's about 6 feet high, maybe a little bit higher than this. But what's above it, since the ridge of my house is right here, it comes out of the fireplace. It does a 45 and then it goes back up again. So right here, I'm going to have to deal with just a little bit of an angle, but I did get a flexible fiberglass rod, so hopefully that can sweep down through there, but I could probably go from the bottom if I need to. So I just want to make sure and point that out, that there is a 45 in here. It's not a straight down pipe. Okay, so now that we got the inside taken care of, let's take care of the outside. So first thing I have 4 sheet metal screws that are ran through here. They're 1/4 inch heads. Take those off, and then we'll clean this cap off as well, but then that exposes the duct so we can run our brush through. So let's take this off real quick. Don't drop these. Put them right in your pocket. So here's a look at the inside of my duct. It's pretty bad. You can tell there's probably about a 1/4 inch to a 3/8 inch of soot all the way down. So the whole plan is to push that brush down there, and then that should capture in that bag far below. Okay, so I have a few of these 3-foot long fiberglass rods with a brush, and this is the poly brush or plastic style brush. You don't want to use a metal one on a metal duct. So you want to make sure and use like a composite style for the duct. And then I'm going to put on a mask. I know it's going to be dusty. And some gloves. And
give it a shot. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and stick our rod down there. Bring it back up. It's doing a really good job cleaning all that soot off. Hopefully all of it's going down into that bag. I'm going to put another rod on there. So I'm pretty sure I found my 90 or my 45. Okay, so I went downstairs, looked up through the fireplace, and I could see that the brush made it past the 45. And now I'm going to try and just go down another 1.5 feet where it hits the valve or the flue valve on top of the fireplace. So let's try and do that real quick. Yep, that's it. Okay, so I'm looking down here, and I'll show you guys in a second, but there's no soot anywhere on inside this flue, the chimney. So I'm gonna pull it out now. Okay, so now I'm going to take the cap downstairs with those 2 baffle pieces and take that same brush, or maybe a different brush, and just clean off those as well. Now let's take a brush and just brush it off. Very simple. It should in no way be like hard on there. It should just kind of almost blow off. Now the cap might be a little bit more caked on there, so just grab like a plastic putty knife or scraper and just scrape it off the best that you can. Now this is a very easy section to take off throughout the season to clean up, and it does tend to cake on here pretty good just because of the moisture from it being outside. Let's just take your putty knife, the best that you can, and then once it's cleaned off enough, we'll go put it back on. Okay, so now we'll just go ahead and put our cap back on, line up the holes, and again, try and not drop a screw. So I got the cap back on, pretty easy. I just want to remind you guys that throughout all of last year, I did not use any type of cleaners on the inside of my flue. I know you can buy stuff that you can burn to help clean it up. Maybe I should do that next year to keep it down a little bit. But from what I think it was pretty safe, and there was never any fire. There was never any sounds of a fire. So, and that was about 3 cords of wood worth of material that you saw on the inside of there, and then actually at the bottom of the fireplace too. I never had to clean the fireplace out once. So either I was burning super hot, or it was all just being caked on the duct. But either way, that was really easy to clean the inside of the flue. It went all the way down to that flue valve on the bottom there. So let's go on the inside, let's clean that out, and then let's put those baffles back in, and then the job's completed. Okay, so real quick, this is the inside. On the hearth, you can see a little bit of dusting, not too bad for pushing that brush all the way down and through. And it looks like most of the dust stayed inside, either on the bag or in the bag. So let's take the bag out and see how well it captured the soot. All right, so let's open this door up. So my bag kind of came down a little bit, but I can tell there's some soot in there, which is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off of these clips. Like so. My cat's gonna try and jump up here with me. Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of soot in there. So this could be dirty. I'm gonna just carry this right out my door. What's up, cat? So looking inside of here, I don't see much dust that actually fell out. So it looks pretty good to me. I'm gonna take my flashlight real quick and take a look up the flue and see how clean that is. Looks real nice and clean. I didn't get a picture or a video to show how clean the flue is from outside, but there's no more caked on mess. It's just the metal on the inside now, with just a black coloring to it, but it's completely cleaned out and I'm satisfied with how it turned out. So now I'm gonna put the baffles back in and then I will vacuum this out a little bit and then the fireplace is cleaned out. Okay, now I'm gonna reapply the baffles. I'm gonna put this top one up there first. Again, they just go on little clippies up there. Ugh. There we go. There we go. Got it. Okay. Alright, so I just put the baffles back in there. Top one first, bottom one next. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to take my vacuum cleaner. I have a filter and a bag on this, so it won't get any dust on the outside into the house. But let's take it, I'm going to just grab all the black stuff that fell down, that didn't catch inside the bag, and just put that into the vacuum cleaner. Okay, so I just went through and I vacuumed out the rest of the fireplace. I left a little bit in here, it's okay. This model wants you to leave about an inch and a half of ash on the bottom, so I'm just going to add to it. But overall, easy process, 45 minutes to an hour. Hardest part was to make sure I wasn't falling off the roof because I do have an 8/12 pitch. And then the second hardest part is just to make sure that I don't get any soot on the inside of the house, which I think I cleaned up most of it. And this glass really helps maintain the dust on the inside of the fireplace. So again, thanks for watching. Like the channel, comment down below, and subscribe if you like. Until next time, take it easy.